Yo, everybody! How is it going? Today we are going to be doing some more Meakashi, and oh my god, this is probably going to be one of the last times we're actually going to be doing this. This is going to be so bloody interesting. I really can't wait for today. I think just judging by everything we've seen so far, you know, judging by how bloody cool everything's been, I really am excited for today. I mean, God, who's going to get the stick today? Who's going to get the shit? That's my question. Because, I mean, the story has got so dark that, like, there's a murder every single time. Like, genuinely. I mean, God. It's just going to be very interesting. I think the main thing I'm really interested to see is all of Shion's perspective on, like, the whole ending of the whole Watanagasi thing. Because, especially, she, in theory, she's going to be really scared because she's actually going to be found out for what she's doing. At least in theory. No, actually, she's probably not even going to be found out because everyone thinks it's Mion. I mean, who doesn't? So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm really excited for this. I have a feeling that also today we're going to get quite a lot of information on, like... Well, no. I just have a feeling... I don't know. We're probably going to get stuff on Satoshi as well, which I'm definitely interested in. I'm really interested in how, like, the whole turning of emotions that Shion has sort of had impacts all the whole Satoshi thing. Because if you guys remember, she was firstly killing because of revenge for Satoshi, but now she's got so sort of involved in murder and, like, her personality has shifted so much and she's obviously become fucking mad that the thing she was actually starting to kill for is just not there. She doesn't care anymore. I mean, my God. It's going to be very interesting to see if she actually does start caring, and especially if she finds out, like, just how bad what she's doing is. I wonder what's going to happen then. Oh, welcome, Ro. How's it going? June 11th? What? This makes, like, no sense. I did play on June the 10th. What? That's really weird. Oh, I don't know. Oh, nice to hear. It took them a long time to come for me. Oh, God, we're getting straight into the deep end. Like we were with last stream, really. Oh, this is going to be very interesting to see, like, what's actually going to happen. Oh, I'm so excited. It took them a long time to come for me. I had to wait until the following morning. Yeah. I opened the gate without checking who was ringing the doorbell. Oh, I didn't even care who it was. If it was the police, that would be fine with me. God, if it was Kisan, could he defeat me? No. He could defeat you, but then you could show him the underground torture room. Let's just say that. God. She doesn't even care about being arrested at this point. I'm just surprised. I really am. Well, God, I should hope not. How come? Well, did I really just ask that? I shouldn't be asking. Well, yeah, anyway, like, don't worry. Yeah, I just kind of thought the second after I asked that, I thought it just sounded really creepy. Like, God, it sounded like I was wanting to know what was happening in your life or stuff like that. Nah. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Hope you have fun. Oh, cool. Keiichi and Deno were there. Well, this is unusual. Aren't you two going to school? We stayed home today. Yeah, like you did. Keiichi is one thing, but you two, Deno? You two are such troublemakers. Oh, it's really funny how, like, Shion is pretending to be Mion here, and also at the same time she sort of sounds run down. She sounds strained here. But I think it's just because of the whole emotion thing finally catching up on her. I laughed. Well, let's not just stand here. Come on in. Ooh, I didn't think then I would come. I thought it would just be either the police or Keiichi alone. I tried taking Keiichi into coming with me to the underground storehouse. Oh my God. Why? Just genuinely, why? I mean, I suppose that's the only thing she wants to do at the moment, but what did he even do? Oh no, I suppose she's probably going to kill Keiichi to actually just sort of, I don't know, prolong the belief of Higurashi or somewhere in the village, really. the fact that a curse has happened and he was one of the sacrifices. But what would be the point of that? If anything, that was what she sort of turned into this monster for. Because she hated it. She thought it was barbaric. Weird. Now, why don't you try to figure out what I'm attempting to do and stop me? You two get on. If you figured out I was Shion, why don't you try to figure out the rest? Yeah. I mean, I didn't actually know that Katie knew this was Shion. I always thought he was Mion. And he thought she was Mion. I'll act like a demon. Oh god, I was struggling until the very last moment. That's not how a demon acts. That's just how a normal human being does. So don't hold back. Please don't hesitate to kill a filthy demon like me. God. It is really interesting how little her value of life is now. It really is interesting that she just thinks of herself as this, and she doesn't even think herself as that of being a good thing. She's disgusted by it. God. Mion. Mion. Firstly, I have something to apologise for. Oh, interesting. You do? What for? Well, on the night of the Meakashi, the ritual storehouse behind the shrine. I went in there. Oh yeah, because you keep on forgetting that Mion doesn't actually know about this potentially, but it's all Shion, all of it. I think she knows that. Sigh. I didn't expect it to start with an apology. So, okay, so we admitted his sin of entering the ritual storehouse. I guess that was manly of him. I don't even care if the storehouse is forbidden anymore, whatever. Of course he doesn't. That rule came from those who believed in it. It was even a sacred place at all. Yeah. Mion. You called Higurashi article the day before last, didn't you? Oh, so I have a feeling. I bet you they found it out. Because I remember in Meakashi I don't remember having figured out something, but I remember definitely having a lot of suspicion on Mion. I don't remember doing so. If you have a reason to think so, could you let me hear it? God, she really is struggling towards the end. Fucking liar. It was evening, before dinner time. Higurashi should have come here, bringing a big bottle of soy sauce, to have you share some with her. Yeah, then I swear with confidence. She wasn't even trying to gauge my reaction. God, she was simply telling me the truth. That cleverness was very pleasant to see. Why do you think that? It's not hard to understand. Mi-chan, you saw it too, didn't you? Rika-chan's room. There was still no soy sauce. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Plus, the big bottle of soy sauce that should have been under the sink was nowhere to be found. Oh. What? Is that why she would have come here? Yeah, but she's kind of missing a little bit. This is really bad news for her. Nana sure is sharp. I tried to beat her around the bush, but she was confident in her conclusions. Yeah, it really does surprise me how mature Nana is. Like, seriously. She was cornering me. She was doing such a great job too. It really put me at ease. It put her at ease? My god. It's almost like she wants death at this point. God. Okay, Demon, then I knows what she's talking about. What kind of excuse are you going to come up with now? God. She even addresses herself like that. Wow. It's a long explanation, so I'll get to the point. The contents of that refrigerator provided a vivid account of what you said over the phone when you lured her out. Yeah, there it is. This game is over. Lena, I was right about you. I don't like you. You really are just too sharp. Shion is so obtuse that she never even recognised this side of you. Are you sure? I'm going to be real. I have a feeling, especially with Mion and Lena, I have a feeling that could just be why they have such a sort of close bond together, you know? I mean, Mion's really sort of, I wouldn't say sharp, she's sort of more playful, more sort of, I don't know, more sort of manly, more sort of brutal, more sort of, oh, I don't know, just like, I just kind of get the feeling that that's why Mion was friends with Lena. in the beginning and why they were such strong friends. Because I reckon this thing, they could really bond well over, you know? I don't believe that at all. But, yeah. That's really interesting. I would be very interested to find out, because we didn't know in Watanagasi what actually happened to Rika. It's really interesting that she actually tried to kill Shion. I wonder what she would have done if, like, she did actually die and Rika didn't actually die. Like, what would have happened then? That's... Oh, God. I had no idea I had such an incredible detective right next to me the whole time. My God. So she's not even trying to hide it at this point. I can't believe you figure out everything down to the phone conversation just from what was inside the fridge. I mean, to be fair, it is really good, but like, God, I can't believe she's confessing. You've got me there. You've got me. I laughed like crazy. I laughed because I was having so much fun. I sensed the poison inside of my stomach dissipating. I felt free and refreshed. What? How can it just suddenly disappear? I mean, I'm assuming dissipate is like disappear, maybe becoming less acidic, less bad. I have no clue. Mio, the police have suspected you for a long time now. Yep, quite rightly so. Voice-San's office says have had the house under observation so they could break in any time. God. Wow. Could you imagine if, as a result of that, they've actually been surveying all the movement, not surveying, sorry, under surveillance of the house and have seen all of Shion's movements, especially like the movements that, for example, Rika and Satoko have made. What? Am I meant to know what that means? Well, it's probably not. Yeah. No understand at all. I have no knowledge. Is that Spanish? Yes, was threatening me. He was telling me I couldn't run or resist, so I should just surrender and accept my fate. Yeah. You aren't doing that intentionally enough, though, Gito. Shouldn't you grab my collar and knock me to the ground? No! Oh my God. That's really interesting, though. She really thinks that everything is just like how she do it. God. Today's the day I'm prepared to die. Oh my God, wait, so she was actually prepared to die then? Interesting, because in Watanagasi we realised that is not the case at all. After that they went easy. Because they just wanted to know the reason why Mion committed such crimes. Ah. Yeah, I suppose. Well. Oh. You do not speak Spanish, I'm assuming that's saying. I don't know. Question mark, question mark, question mark. My favourite. That's so true. Boris Johnson! I can just imagine somebody shouting that like some mad sort of protester. You were being too lenient about this. No, I know, I am a demon. I'm a murderer. Are you saying that if you can understand the reasoning, murder is okay? Well, I have a feeling these people, they're such close friends, so they probably would. Demon is a demon. Murderer is a murderer. Well, whatever their motive is whether their motive is to have fun, to live, or take revenge, that makes no difference. And it is very interesting that Shion, at first, she was doing it to take revenge, and then secondly, and also at the same time to live, because she believed her life was genuinely potentially in danger because of the Sonozaki sort of hierarchy. But then it was just to have fun, really, to sort of get all the people that she hated out. Why do we even want to know that? Why don't you just tackle me and take me to the police? I just can't believe she actually realises this. Because I always thought that, like, the whole demon-related stuff, I always thought there was the side of regret that she never really realised. But I think she realises what she's doing is wrong, but she doesn't really care. That's it. Oh my god, I know. Fuck him for that, like, genuinely. Bro, that was so stupid. It was so hypocritical as well. It was just really funny that, like, you could genuinely, in the height of the COVID lockdowns, you could get fined for sneaking out of your house and into public areas and just areas. No, with more than one person, because I actually remember, like, trying to evade fines with my friends quite a few times. But, like, my god. It's insane. That was just really funny. We go to the quietest places, the places that we knew people would be at, and yet we were still worried about getting fines. And yet these people, they can just party in their houses all day. And, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Look, there, the demon is trying to deceive you. It's a pleasure to meet you both. I am the successor of the Sonozaki family. Wow. God, he really has just a personality switch there. Holy shit. But I suppose that could also be deception. I don't know. Mion. Of course, Mion. Welcome to the Sonozaki family's house today. I'd like to greet you on behalf of our leader, Audio. Oh, you seem to want to ask various questions. I'd like to answer everything as clearly as possible. It's actually very interesting that she's being really level-headed about this. I then told them about the strange events that led to Onigati village becoming Inamizawa, which Takano-san had told me about before. About half of it was the truth, but the other half was completely made up. Oh, I just made it sound like it was only natural that their best friend committed such a brutal crime. Interesting. So, I wonder what was actually made up. Kichi and Nana were both overwhelmed by the history of Onigati village, which was swallowed by this grim fate. Wait, so, hang on a second. So, oh my god. That's just really insane for me, especially if, like, the whole, you remember the stuff about, if anyone saw when I was playing Watanagasi, the stuff about, like, human flesh, you know, section 731. I remember just stuff like that. It did genuinely really interest me, so I'd just be really surprised if, like, the thing that I learnt about what really interested me was a lie. God. That's very interesting, because with this sentence here, you can't tell what was made up and what wasn't. But yeah, who wouldn't be? Oh well, I guess I made it sound interesting enough. Yeah, she did, and I mean, I remember when I read it, god yeah. I'm sure they enjoyed hearing me tell the story, but you know, I'm the one who committed the incidents that happened in the present time. Yeah, what's the point in listening to those old folk tales? Yeah, I suppose. You think it will make your best friend's crime easier to swallow? Well, yeah. I suppose that's definitely what Shion's thinking. You're just trying to satisfy yourselves. I'm a demon, I'm a murderer, I have sinned. Those old folk tales have nothing to do with the crimes I've committed. It's really interesting that, like, in Shion's head now, you can just sort of see multiple conversations, if you like, happening. Like, you have the demon inside her that's talking to her that she thinks is there. And then you have her. Oh god, same row. That'd be awful. Is a hereditary title just like, I don't know, a really big reward for being somebody really significant? The way those two listened to me so intensely almost made it fun. I told them that people used to make canned human meat and conducted gruesome research during the war. Those are the things Takano-san told me. Oh, so they weren't... I'm actually kind of happy that we got, like, clarity on the most interesting events there. Those are the things Takano-san told me. Of course Takano-san told her. That's so... I'm going to be real there, that's really irresponsible. I mean, I get that, like, rules and laws about, like, what you can tell kids are just over the roof in Japan sometimes. But, like, God, it's just really surprising that, like, you'd get a grown adult telling this to like a growing up child, really. I mean, God, I'm just really surprised about that. Like, you would have thought that would be a little bit too much, but yeah, I don't know. Takano-san told me, hey, you two, haven't you realised yet? Haven't you realised that what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what we're dealing with right now? Yeah, I know. I'm just really surprised that, like, they're actually still buying into it. You both look so serious. You two are such fools. So that Hinamizawa village might once more be like Onigati village, so that we may begin a sacred existence worthy of worship. Oh, interesting. So that could potentially be... That's definitely a good way of covering up, though. But he hasn't really said anything about the demons. Because I have a feeling maybe she could potentially put the blame off herself if she talked about the demon thing, but you do need to remember that she doesn't care. Anyway. That's the mission of those who inherit the demon of the Sonozaki Mei family. Well, there we are. That's my query. Those who inherit the demon? For generations, the Sonozaki family has had a custom of including the character the demon in names of his successors. Yeah. If you write out my name on your hand, it should appear as plain as day. Yeah, Katie tried to write Mion on his palm. Oh, she's right. The character for demon is in there. Not only in my name either, the demon is engraved on my body as well. Oh, it's very interesting that she lies about that. I stood up and made to show my bare back. Of course, I don't actually have a tattoo there. Yeah. It's okay, Mita. You don't need to show us, okay? Yeah. Well, we're lucky these people have some sort of, I don't know, like, they don't have that many balls to actually want to, like, see something like that. I suppose. I don't know. It's lucky that they're scared of something I wouldn't really thought they would have been scared of. Basically. Thank you. I laughed a little. They must really believe that I'm their best friend, Mion. My goodness, the demon had won already. They were doing so well at the beginning too. I eventually sat down after I finished telling my made-up tearjerker stories. Oh, it's your loss if you all shed any tears now. Oh, yeah. I looked at Casey. He wasn't crying, but he was overcome by emotion. I looked at Elena. Surprisingly, she still maintained an aggressive look, showing me her will to fight. God. But Rika-chan and Satoko-chan. You killed them, didn't you, Mita? Oh boy. Rena's finally realised all of this was just an effort to sort of pull them off guard. Oh, right. Oh, I hope he doesn't get one of those. I mean, he is not, like, from what I've heard, he's just really bad man in general. Really corrupt person as well. Really, just not somebody that would be deserving of that title. Just someone most people would call an idiot. I hope he doesn't get it. I mean, but I don't know, maybe like the whole more corrupt side of the UK will win. Who knows? I don't even know who's in the next election. It's not really my thing. You're good, Dena. You know what I just told you wasn't an excuse for murder. Yeah. You usually act like such a goofball, but that's not really how you are. No, I know. She does. H-A-U. There's proof. You sure are something. You're far sharper than Shion. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that it's okay if you killed other people. Regardless, Mita. You killed Rika-chan and Satoko-chan. Yeah, I suppose. And I think the thing that's definitely really significant about this is they're fucking friends. Some of the best friends I've ever had. I'm not trying to justify what I've done. I have a demon inside of me. The demon is in my name, in my body, and also in my soul. But the demon wasn't the one who killed them. Wow. So she really is confessing. God. I did. Sonozaki Mion did. Ah, yes, Sonozaki Mion. My favourite killer. Higurashi Satoko-chan died because Mion wanted them dead. I mean, to be fair, I mean, Satoko's death is one of the most horrible things. No justifications, but I suppose if you were actually taken to court for a case like Rika-chan's death, I wonder if you could actually, like, argue it was self-defense, because I suppose it was. Because if Shion hadn't actually done anything, she was going to have got killed, but at the same time, Rika, I don't know, there's probably a lot of laws about it that sort of would need to be adapted to the specific case, because I'm sure that, for example, self-defense, because when Rika was unconscious, not unconscious, sort of baffled, no, was unconscious because of the sun gun, Shion actually sprayed the drug into her system, so I would have wondered, maybe that could have been something that would overwrite the whole self-defense thing. I don't know, it would be very interesting to see. You're moving to Ireland? That's it, I'm moving to Ireland. Fuck England. Fuck England, fuck school, fuck my bloody road. Screw it. I'm going to Ireland. That will never change. Yeah, you're right, Lena. Come on, Lena, try to figure out who I really am. Yeah, it is actually very interesting because there was never anything about this. Never. You still believe Shion, my victim, is the real culprit? Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. Poor Shion, I'm making it, I believe that you're responsible. Yeah, it's just sad that. It really is. I mean, it's just really funny that in the story, like, she's done so many things to her fucking sister that she was close to, like, not that long ago. And then she's doing this. That was it for dinner, though. She couldn't figure out I was Mion. Oh, please. Turn yourself in. God. It's actually very interesting in this whole thing. Like, she couldn't figure out I was Mion. She believes she is Mion, but she objectively isn't. But because of the demon, she believes that she is. It's confusing. But the Mion that they actually thought was Mion isn't Mion in her eyes, but in an objective sort of birth certificate size is. God, I think that's the most confusing thing I possibly could. Oh. Wow. God, that's really cool. Oh yeah, oh god, being a school teacher must be such a nightmare of a job. I mean, my god, it's just so many commitments as well. Like, you can't leave as well. I mean, if you leave, like, there's going to be so many implications that are going to have to happen. Because there's so many teachers that have left in our school and then, like, the entire year has sort of, I mean, like, the entire classes have sort of really been inconvenienced as a result. So it must be really awful just to have that sort of commitment. Like, you know, you can't leave even if you wanted to. Oh, if she wanted to, then that's really not that bad, yeah. Please turn yourself in. No, that's right to Mion. We'll go with you. We'll never leave a friend by herself. Crying children and then are the only things I can't buy. I can't beat. Oh, when you understand the significance behind this line. Because when she said crying children, she's probably talking about Satoko, let's be real. Too bad, Dinner. I've won. I'm well aware of how serious my own crimes are. Even if they accept me turning myself in, I'll probably never be able to come back here. Yo, you'll have a fucking life sentence. And then they'll go to the dungeon and they'll potentially realise how many people you've killed. Fucking hell. Oh yeah, that's what I mean, Ro. I mean, whenever people leave, like, during a break, it's sort of a lot harder, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's really good. No, I remember there was this one friend that I had, apparently, this head teacher, they got really annoyed Oh, right. Yeah, we get teachers that leave in sort of any breaks, really. Never half terms, like full holidays. But, yeah. Apparently in one of my friend's old schools, his head teacher literally walked out in the middle of a day and never came back. Just because she was really annoyed. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but like, holy fuck. That's so funny if it was. So I'd like you to hear one last selfish request. What is it? 30 minutes is fine, just let me have some... Oh, just let me have some time with Keiichi. Oh no. Eh? And Keiichi looked startled to suddenly hear his name. You're so insensitive, Keiichi. That's what made my sister cry. Keiichi-kun, is that okay with you? If you don't want me to, then I won't make you. Yeah, she's right. It's okay if you don't want to. After all, I'm a demon. And Keiichi-chan is a bona fide human who moved here from somewhere else. For us to be compatible, as long as the Asura-sama doesn't exist to meditate, it simply isn't possible. Oh, I suppose, but at the same time, if you look at the history of Hinamizawa and Higurashi, what did the demons do with the humans? They combined. So I suppose it could be, but at the same time, you could believe that that could be disproved when you realise what's actually going to happen. Oh god. I think it's just so sad that they actually buy this trap. Padraid MacLachlan. Who the hell is that? Is that a reference to something? Oh, right. Keiichi hesitated a little. Come on, Keiichi-san, condemn me and tell me you'd never go. Sure. It's fine. Thank you, fool. Oh, no, I'd like to thank you too, Keiichi-kun. Then I stood up. As promised, she made to leave. Oh, it's fine, Deno. You can wait right here. I just want to go around the garden with Keiichi. If you're bored, you can go to my room. You can read any manga you like. And if there are any volumes you want, you might as well take them. You sound so friendly. I think it's just sad. It really is. I mean, this is just... What is the point of this killing? Genuinely. I don't want to. Mitan's books belong to Mitan, and then I couldn't bring them home back with her so freely. You're such a good kid, only at times like this. I told Lena's hand and rubbed it like Satoshi used to do to me. God. Wow. Okay, let's go, Keiichi. God, the game was over. Too bad, At least this was more fun than if Keiichi came alone. I suppose, but... Yeah. If he did, he could have asked me to run away with him after hearing my stories. Oh, I suppose. That would have been a really interesting sort of other end to it, you know. But he wouldn't do that. He's too moral. I don't even think he would. Maybe he would, because of how much he values friendship, but I just don't think it's likely, you know. Then I was like those of a judge. In those eyes, I sensed both affection and observance. I said 30 minutes, so she would probably only wait for 30 minutes. Yeah, if I took even a second longer, she'd call, is she? Oh yeah, she needs to be careful. I'm a little disappointed. Now still thinks I'm Mion. She didn't manage to see through me. I thought somebody like her would see the demon in me. I guess I was wrong. Too bad. Well, nobody can see demons. I mean, the thing is... But the thing is, it is kind of funny that, like, she never spots that it is actually Shion. Nobody does. I mean, we only learn here that it is Shion that actually does this stuff. Could you follow me after putting his shoes on? Can I hold... Oh my god. So, even when you've done all of this, you still want affection. God, she is. Such a humble request. I don't mind. God. I took Keiichi's arm. It was a small Satoshi. I felt a little bewildered. Do you get kind of nervous with your arm through mine? You're not thinking, for example, that I suddenly put you in a world-class joint lock or anything. You do say the same things. I don't think that. At all. He was remembering the time when I'd hold his arm in town. Oh yeah, I think Shion liked you, Keiichi. Shion. It's actually very interesting because when she says Shion, she is kind of speaking from the heart because she believes that she is Mio. Even though she objectively isn't. She hasn't been for all of her life. I mean, my god. Oh, god. I just feel so bad for Katie, though. I mean, we never really knew this was going to happen before. I mean, it was sort of like a thing that could have been very likely, but we didn't know it actually happened. We actually know. I just don't get why Shion is actually killing Katie. Is it because he's reminiscent of Satoshi? Something like that? Or maybe is it just with the addiction? Because she wants to kill Katie and then Mio. I see. I don't know how my sister felt. Shion was with Satoshi for a long time, but what they had was friendship. They never had anything more than that. Yeah. That was why she fell in love with Katie. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I suppose. If I were in a position, I would have also fallen in love with him. God. It's just really interesting that this isn't even Sion's head. It's just somebody who's practically hijacked her. If Shion was also able to fall in love with him, then I could fall in love with him too. I suppose, but I somehow don't think a demon for a lover is a very good pick. Oh my god. Katie smiled gently. Katie smiled gently. I almost saw subtle skin at that smile. Oh, the Katie I knew was worthless and superficial. No, I know, but he's really... I never realised he could smile at subtle skin. Mion and Shion, you get along, don't you? That's a wrong thing to ask. You get along, maybe? Well, I wonder. Geizan, do you think your right hand and your left hand get along? My right hand and my left hand. I don't think you could describe them as getting along or not. Yes, I somehow don't think hands have emotions. That's how our relationship is. You can't measure it by how well we get along. We've been together since we were born. We've been living in this world as a pair. But I was Mion and she was Shion. But in reality, it's the other way around. Mion was really special and I insisted on being her. Yeah, of course I was unpleasant with Shion. Sunny, to be fair, we switch places all the time. Oh, that's very interesting, that. We were probably different from other identical twins. Yeah, we didn't only like the same things or do things the same way. We even managed to share our knowledge and experiences. When we talked about our experiences, we could share them. Yeah, definitely. As Mion and Shion, we shared everything. That's why each of us was both Mion and Shion at the same time. No, maybe Shion was the one who only thought that way. Oh, I was a little different than that. I was simply letting Shion be Mion once in a while. Yeah. I was Mion, the successor of the Zonwaki family. I was supposed to be treated specially. I always thought that was my privilege. Just like everybody tried to distinguish between Mion and Shion, I also tried to distinguish between us. Interesting. For example, one of your hands is dominant, so there will always be a better hand. If you only have one even mitt, you would put it on your dominant hand without thinking, right? I love this. It's actually a really genius way to look at things, but it's true. Something I kind of wanted to see. No, it's just very interesting with the whole special treatment thing as well. You do wonder if her feeling as if she was a reject from society, you know, from her own family, that could have been maybe something provoking that sort of emotion that she got, really. I think maybe it was like that for us. Yeah, and I suppose with the dominant hand here, the dominant hand is Mion. If you get anything important, anything significant, anything that requires responsibility, you put it to Mion. You don't put it to Shion just because, I don't know, they believe Shion's cursed, they believe she shouldn't exist. God, it's just so awful, that. I mean, the thing is, I think the thing that's really bad about this is, this person is so insane. She's a fucking murderer, for fuck's sake. And a really bad one at that. But you just really can't help but feeling a lot of sympathy for her. I get that it doesn't justify the means, of course. But, like, you feel so bad for her. I think it was maybe like that for us. That doesn't mean, though, that anybody will be okay with it losing their left hand. Yeah. It's that kind of unexplainable relationship. Yeah. Interesting. Tolot. That's really funny. Tolot, similar to toilet. I just find that really funny that it's really similar to that word. And church is the thing that it's explaining. Wow. I did not know that. Which language is it? I don't see the analogy. What is it? I don't really see what the significance those capitalized words have. I'm confused. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Interesting. No, I suppose that could be. Oh no, I get that. Oh, that's really cool. Oh my god, that could just be. Could you imagine that in like an actual language? It just sounds like English on genuine crack. That is actually really interesting. Was that like genuinely intended when sort of devising the word church? Or was it just like a little Easter egg you found? That would have been really interesting if it was actually intended. Ah, yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, right. I've never watched Vsauce actually. I think that maybe you live too close together and stop being able to see it, but I think that means you got along really well. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, sadly that's all shattered now. I'm an only child, so the day before the festival, I was really jealous of when you and Shion were messing around with each other. Bro, for real. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about that, because other stuff, you know, but I can't say anything else because I'm an only child. I'm happy that I'm an only child, though. I'd rather be an only child. So, yeah. But that is genuinely something I'd be jealous of, easily. I think you're jealous of something that doesn't exist. Yes, we twins used to have a lot of fun trading places with each other, but now that we have such distinctly different personalities, our resemblance only gets in the way. Oh. Well, Shion. Mion. Sorry. It's not exactly like it's anybody but your fault. I'm sorry. It's all your fault. As an older sister, I felt I was mean for thinking that way, so as punishment, I became Shion. Oh. Wait, so... Hang on a second, is this genuine? Who am I? I never had a solid identity in the first place. No, I suppose I was Mion, then I was Shion. I should have just accepted that, but something has changed. I don't even know if I'm Mion or Shion anymore. Had I really been stupid enough to hope that then I would figure that out for me? Yeah. God. She's M. Shion, obviously. No, she's Shimi, or Mishi, or something like that. I don't know. Onshi. On meat. Yo. She's an on your Meakashi reading. My favourite. God, that's really interesting, that. I mean, so, as a result, that, like... So, I didn't actually realise this, but... At the beginning, was this... No, there's no way this could have been, like, the reason... Shion is Shion as opposed to Mion. I mean, it's just because, like, she was objectively the second person that was born. So she has to be of Shion. She has to be. Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting all of that. But God. Is she Mion, is she Shion, or is she a demon? That is the question. But I think she's objectively Shion. It's just she's really losing the plot, you know? Shion is still alive? Yeah. Interesting. Really? In case you looked into my eyes, I nodded quietly. Yeah. I've been thinking to give her the most horrible death of all, so I kept her. Oh my god. Of course she has. I never did think of a good way to do it though. Well, what should I say? What a relief. Fucking hell. This is a lie. I've already come up with ideas and I've already begun to execute them. I've done the hag into the well in front of Shion. Oh my god, I didn't realise she was watching. I don't give me the only guy in there. I even killed Satoko too. And right now I'm plotting to kill Keiichi while who Shion fell in love with. Oh god, yep. She is so fucking horrible. She really is. I mean, it just never ends. It really doesn't. I am a demon. Any such gruesome act is simply pleasure to me. And that's the sadder thing. She wasn't always one. She wasn't always just convincing that she was. Maybe she isn't even a demon. Maybe the whole demon thing is baloney. It could just be that this is a inflicted personality she sort of had on herself and has made reality in her head. Something that she believes, but is false. God, that's when I felt a warm hand running in my head. It wasn't Satoshi's hand, but Keiichi's. Keiichi and Satoshi are totally different. Why does Shion fall in love with him? His rough hand didn't make me happy. Oh, it's actually very interesting that with Shion, is she talking about herself or Mion here? Because I don't know. It could be possible that she's talking about herself here because like she's confused that she fell in love with him. Or wait, hang on a second. I'll just see if I can revisit it because I kind of want to like, you know, realise this. Where's So this is... Oh, here we are. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is... So he's actually surprised that Satoshi could be loved by Mion. Mion, not Shion. His rough hand didn't make me happy. That's that he understood my feelings was just my imagination. Yeah. Oh god. Even if it did make her happy, that'd probably be even worse. I wasn't happy and it didn't feel good and it didn't. Come with me. I wanted to see all of my sins. Oh god. Although it might be the worst thing you've ever seen. Well, I mean, I suppose at least... No, this is complete bait because all of the evidence of her sins down the well. It's a complete trap. Oh god. I'm going to commit my final crime. I'm going to let you see it. I'm going to let Shion see it. When I do, are you still going to think I'm your best friend? That's the saddest thing. He does. Poor Shion. Keiichi is going to die thinking it's you who's killing him. Yeah. If you want to turn back, now's your chance. I don't know what impression you have of Sonozaki Mion, but it will surely change once you go inside. Yep, but look at him right here. He's happy. He's not shocked. Well, he's not happy, but he's sort of level-headed. He's not really got a bad expression on. There's no way he's going to turn back. And we actually know he doesn't anyway. It will never change. I'll say it as many times as I need to. Sonozaki Mion is the best friend I could ever have. God. Oh god, I wonder what that's going to make Shion think. Because her entertainment side is just sort of thriving on the possibility that Katie sort of, I don't know, gets disturbed by it, really. You're such a fool. You don't sound cool at all. Interesting. It's interesting that she thinks this is just him trying to be cool, but no, it's genuine, man. It is genuine. It does sound it, at least. But I don't know. At the same time, like, look at the Watanagasi phone call. That sounded genuine. So yeah, when I played in Watanagasi, I mean, I don't understand human feelings because I'm now a demon, but I think I can understand why she loves you. Yeah. I opened the iron door to the underground storehouse and beckoned Casey inside. Oh boy, come on Casey, this is obviously a trap, don't you see? This basement is transparently suspicious. Yeah, don't you think you should run to the police? But Casey was reckless. He swallowed and then stepped inside. Huh, you really are a fool. I mean, the thing is that's really sad about this, I mean, you can't really disagree. There's a point where doing stuff for your best friends. If Katie was like this in real life, what if Shion wanted, for example, what if they wanted to commit a crime because they're best friends? Is he just going to do it? Like, my God, his life could be ended in one of the most painful ways you could probably think of. And yet he's still doing it. I just can't believe it. I wonder what would have happened if he actually did run to the police, though. He'd probably laugh. But he probably wants to see Shion, who he believes is Shion. But it's actually Mion in reality. Oh, you really are a fool. We went down the stairs to the basement and I let him into the torture room. Oh boy. Everyone is their first time visiting this room. I used to be that way. Of course, Katie looked surprised too, but he was trying not to show it. Obviously, he wanted to express his shock at seeing his horrifying room, but he also knew that if he voiced that shock, that he would be rejecting his best friend who was also trying to confess her sins to him. Yeah, I suppose. It's actually very interesting that this happens, because you know with Satoko and her pain, and trying to not express the pain for Satoshi, sort of similar to that in some ways. It's interesting, that. A caching system. Damn. Oh, that's really clever. Wow. God, you must be really good at programming to actually be able to do that. That just sounds so complicated. Wow. GG's. Has it optimized stuff? Oh. Well, it sounds it. Ah, yeah. Oh, that's really good, yeah. Oh, nice one. Yeah, I mean, God, requests to like you said, like around 30 different pages. Fucking hell, that must be a long time. And I mean, I don't know whether Wikipedia server's good, because I suppose if they were really, really good, they could do that in like a short period of time, but like it would still just be so unnecessary, really. Oh. Oh, right. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me somehow. So he did everything he could to decipher with surprise. According to something a family had from a long time ago wrote, blood splatter has impact despite the fact that it doesn't tax the sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Watanagasi was meant as a deterrent after all. My ancestors thought up all different kinds of torture. Of course they did. Has a space for the audience. Watanagasi is a deterrent after all. It wouldn't make sense if there were no guests. Yup. Because this is how sick the Sonozaki family really are. I mean, their past especially. God. But yeah, it's just really interesting. This, especially the whole that's really interesting that like they've been doing this for so long and yet they're still doing it. You would have thought like for time's sake, what was legal and what was right and what was moral would have caught up with them. But it was only last year Shion was having a fucking nail chopped off, completely erased. I don't know, like no, ripped off. That's the fucking word. Yeah, I just can't believe that they haven't sort of moved on from this barbaric shit. It would have made sense without I guess. Casey smiled quietly as he listened to me. No matter what cruelty came out of my mouth, he would embrace me. Was this really the superficial Maya Casey I knew? This is weird. I mean, God, is she really trying to... Does Casey really believe in Shion that much? Right here is where I killed everybody. Oh. There were no spectators to watch me, but I held on what I held on what I was on my own. Well, I mean, at least she never did the sort of, you know, how do I put this without making it sound really graphical? That's a good idea. What happened to Rika in Tatarigoroshi's Nightmare World that was the last death before Keiichi, I don't know, he sort of caused the whole village to go bust. Oh, right. Oh, that's really cool. Nice. Q42. God. That is really cool. Well, perhaps there was one spectator. Yep. Of course there was one. Huh? A spectator? Me. I, the demon, was watching the entire time Mion held the ceremony. Interesting. Yeah, because I thought she was talking about Mion. But yeah. I thought she was talking about Mion. But this is Mion, Daniel. Are you bamboozled? Nah, I mean the other Mion that she calls Shion. God, this is so confusing to talk about and theorize about, you know, just discuss about. But yeah, it's just very interesting. It's very interesting that she really believes that somebody else is sort of. I suppose this is what Mion believes. No, Shion, you fucker. This is what Shion believes was the mysterious presence that was sort of always behind her. Always, you know, the extra footstep. I think that could have been the Oyashiro-sama paranoia, but I don't know. I hope we learn more about that because that really doesn't add up any of those theories I have. But that could maybe be what she thought the demon was. That extra footstep, you know. Started to laugh. Yeah. I mean, I actually kind of can't blame her. I mean, it is ridiculous, but it is genuine as well. I started to laugh. How many hints do you need, Katie? When are you going to figure out that I'm not really your best friend? Oh, when... Yeah, we always forget when she says she starts to laugh. It's the... Yeah, you know, the... I'm not even going to do an impression of her laugh because then it will just sound really weird. But, like, the ones she always does when she's at the height of her sort of evil, really. Oh, right. Oh, that's really smart. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Wow. God, that really is. Really is. I mean, that sounds like just a massive GG to sort of, I don't know, safer. When are you going to figure out I'm not really your best friend? Come on, hurry up, you're running out of time. The game is almost over. It is. And I mean, especially because the half an hour is almost up. It is. We can't forget that. This was a game. This is a game of murder. I had killed people using my revenge for Sato's skin as an excuse. God, she even realises it. The team was trying to capture Casey and kill him before Mion's eyes. But Casey had a chance. If he figured out I wasn't his best friend, then he'd win. Yeah. I wonder what would happen to Shion if he won. If not, he was out. When did I come up with that rule? Yeah. When did I come up with that rule? I guess it was sometime today. Or did I come up with it just a minute ago? Since the two of them aren't too bright, I decided to be easy on them, I guess. Aren't too bright? Are you fucking sure? They are. You're Mion's best friends, right? Then you believe in her? Have you already made Mion into a murderer within yourselves? Why don't you try and protect the Mion within you? Oh, why don't you try and believe your friend can't be a murderer? If you could believe until the very end, like Satoko did, you would have realised that I wasn't Mion, your best friend, but just somebody who looks like her. Yeah, but if you can't, if you still believe that I'm Mion, then you're just like me. I killed the subtle skin within me so easily and you'll do the same. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Oh my god. Back there is the prison. Is Shion there? Shion. God. I mean, God, it's just really... I can't believe that she thinks that... She really believes that if you abandon the people that are so close to you, you don't deserve it. Oh my god. Some very strong feelings there. I wonder if that's the demon talking or her. You're not going to make it. Once you reach your cells, your time is up. The demon will win. Oh god, because we all know what happened with Sion's reaction. And that's probably what she finds funny, isn't it? The demon will win. Shion. Is that Shion? Kei-chan. Mion. Poor fucking girl. Is that you, Kei-chan? Kei-chan ran into the cell. Are you alright, Shion? Are you hurt? No. Oh god. Shion screamed. I was standing right behind Keiichi. It was time. Oh no, because that's probably why she's saying... I know, she's screaming that loudly just because of her. God. I just can't believe that, like, you feel somebody's so much of a threat and this is your fucking sister. It's just sad. It really is. It's just really sad that, like, how she's become. It was time. My preparations to kill the boy she loved were complete. For her, this was going to be the worst possible torture. Yep. Calm down, Shion. Everything is over now. Everything. Casey tried to quell Shion's distress by talking to her in a calm voice. It was such a funny. Casey was the only one who had no idea what was going on. Yeah, but at the same time, he does. If you see Shion, then, yeah. If you see her locked up and everything, you will be able to see. Ro, you really don't want to know. I'm going to be real. I am really going to be real with you. You just don't want to know. From that, you can probably assume, like, the worst possible thing. But just 10 times worse. No, they didn't. There was a long scene. It was yesterday. I think you missed it. But yeah. Shion, how have you been? What a bitch. Of course you'd ask something like that. No more. Please. God, I don't want to see anybody else die. If you have, then just please kill me. I'm the one you hate most, alright? Right now. God, sis. Calm down, Shion. It's all over now. It's gonna be alright. So calm down. God, I feel so fucking bad. I'm always getting so lost up in the interest in this plot that you just forget how fucking horrible it is. Poor fucking... She really... It's just so insane that she's suffered so much pain that she actually would have herself die as opposed to anybody else. God. And it's actually very interesting that she knows Katie is gonna probably die, but I think it's really nice that we're sort of rested assured of that, because Katie doesn't actually die in the end. Relax. I won't kill you, no. I won't kill you, just... God, of course he sounds so excited. Yeah, my point proven. Fucking hell. It's game over. I gave you enough chances. You cornered me quite well once, but that was it. You couldn't figure out that I'm not your best friend, Mion. You couldn't believe that Mion isn't a murderer. True. Shion is a psychopath. I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't. I do want to when I've sort of done with this visual novel, I do want to sort of research more in the mind and more potentially find out like what's actually happened to her in terms of like the deterioration of her sort of senses and mind and stuff like that. It would be very interesting. But yeah, she really is. No human emotion. I can't believe. I think the saddest thing about this is just people like this, they probably exist as well. It really is. But yeah, I just really can't believe that. Yeah. Oh, definitely. They're addicted. They're completely like her. They kill for a reason at first, but then they get so caught up on murder that they just become addicted. And they can't do anything else. It's really fucking sad. But, I mean, the only reason... Like, look at this. Why is Katie getting killed? It's just senseless. Please stop. Don't kill Katie. Katie has nothing to do with this, does he? If you're gonna kill somebody, then kill me right now. I don't want anybody else to die. Yep. How can you, demon or not, how can you look at that and... How can you look at that and... Get off on it, really. I mean, just reading this is enough to not only like really stress me out, but just fucking sad. It is just sad. How, I just don't get how you can do what Shion's doing. She was normal once. A year ago, she was normal. It just really doesn't make sense, but yeah. If you want to die that badly, then after I kill this man, I'll take my time making mincemeat out of you. Wow, I'm gonna be real. Oh god, I just realised what that probably means. Right, next slide. Oh shit, in accordance with the ancient rites, I'll do it slowly, start with your strength. I'm very happy this doesn't actually happen. I was just going to I was just going to sort of... I think Shion's probably around 16. That's how old I'd estimate. Either 16 or 15, something like that. My age, basically. Fucking hell. Oh, God. Well, I was actually kind of happy to think that Shion doesn't actually kill Mion like this, because in the end of Watanagassi, she jumps off she gets killed off a flat, doesn't she? I just hope this doesn't happen. Oh my God. Because I thought this was a joke, but then you realise how mincemeat's actually made, and then yeah, I'll shave it down and mince you to bits. God. I had that messy machine specifically for you, after all. What the fuck? Oh my God. She is not I do not believe she's 14. Would it be funny if I were to miss up to you? God. Funnier. Hey, quit already. What do you have to do what do you have to gain by scaring her at the point? But for real? No. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. But I think what's so sad about Mion is no matter how hard she tries... I mean, Shion is smart. I'm going to be real. She is smart, so I have a feeling she's probably going to be like, lock the doorways, make sure it's impossible for him to escape. And even if he did, you know, knives exist. She's probably just, you know... Oh yeah, they are, yeah. Yeah. Mion is the one that's really being affected, and Shion is the killer. Psychopath, really. They're literally identical twins, yeah. Here you are, demon. Go ahead and take my soul. I'm living my life to avenge Satosukin, but that wasn't what he wanted from me. That was just for my own satisfaction. Yeah. I'm really surprised that she finally realises this. I couldn't even face Satosukin, so I'll bring this to an end the way I want. I want the world to become a total mess. My God. Disgusting. Oh, the world became a total mess. Sorry, I misread that. One letter. That's all it takes. God. It's very interesting that Shion actually realises this. She actually realises this. And yet she doesn't, you know, what any normal person would do from something like this. Learn from it, you know, improve yourself from it. No, she just uses that as an excuse to sort of go worse. Oh God, I don't know, Ro, but like, I don't know, I really don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen next. I can't remember if there's much. I don't know. I can't really remember. Total mess. Satosukin hates me and I hate myself too. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, I think what's even sadder is she doesn't even know that. But I mean, obviously, like if she actually saw Satoshi, of course, she would be hated by him, of course. I mean, yeah. See you when you're back, dude. Satosukin hates me and I hate myself too. I'm gonna complete my revenge. Complete. I don't want anyone to sympathise with me. Well, I don't know. You've got the readers sympathising with you, at least. But at the same time, like, really pitying you, which is what I'm doing. I don't want anyone to sympathise with me. I won't pretend to be some tragic heroine either. Heroine. I'm going to become a murderer that nobody could sympathise with. Oh, God. So she's just doing this for murder. She's just doing it for it. That's really what this whole demon thing is to her. So please, grant a suitable final moment to me. A bluish-white flash filled the entire cave. Katie felt on like a doll. Shion reached out to him from the other side of the bars. Oh no! Oh, I thought in the scene, in the final Watanagashi scene where the police sort of explode the door and sort of, as a result, like get everybody saved. I thought that was that, but no. Oh god! She screamed at me not to kill Katie. Go ahead, cry and blame me. Don't even think of offering her forgiveness. Oh god! I am the most rotten existence in this world. Well, suppose. It was always really interesting with the self-deprecation thing, like especially when you're sort of doing it with things that you think are bad but really don't matter at all. But this person, they actually do matter. So it's just really interesting to see like self-deprecation, but taken to another level where it's self-deprecation, but it's about something genuine. Must be awful to have stuff like that. But I'm gonna be real, she really deserves it. After all the things she's done. Don't even think of offering reviews. It's raw existence as well. So please grant me the worst possible ending. Shion begged me to desperately to let Katie go. I simply abused her, slandered her, and disgraced her. Yeah. The more Shion suffered, the deeper I'd fall into hell. Yeah, but for real. My god. It wasn't enough. It wasn't even close to... Oh my god. I can't go back, so let's just fuck it up even more, is basically what she's saying. I lost hope for her for a long time ago. It wasn't even enough to compensate for my sins. Compensate? I dragged Katie to the table. I put Satoko on and restrained him there. Oh no. I mean, okay, it's actually kind of good because we know that Katie doesn't give the same treatment as Satoko did. But yeah, it's probably going to be the whole finger and nail things. Katie began to move sluggishly. The stun must have not worked too well on him. Yeah, because I suppose... No, I'm thinking wrong. I was thinking that maybe the stun gun could have been not changed since Wendika set it to the lowest power setting. But no, it had to have been because Satoko died even. Because like Satoko was probably in the house and then she was just lured to the underground part. And yeah, we know the rest. Can you hear it, Shion? Oh my god, you fucking bastard. Can you hear it, Shion? I'm gonna get started now. Save a kid's hands for screams. Your heart's concerned. God. At that time, I began aware of Casey's gaze, and then I turned around to face Casey. Oh. Oh wait, so is this a decision? Oh. What would be... Oh, I don't know. What should I do? And I don't know how to face Casey. That's interesting. We can just sort of... I reckon becoming aware of the gaze because we're going to see more. Give it a fucking rest. Casey's growls resounded from the pits of his stomach. Yeah, good for him. What a delight. Oh my god. Yep, because you just really forget. These people don't feel scared or fear from, because I mean if somebody said that to me, I would definitely feel fear. What a delightful sound. It was like he wanted to rip me apart.
Awake at last, aren't we? I lied to you
さっ
before,
き
you know,
シオンを
about
一番
having
無
wanted
た
to
ら
give
しく
Shion the
殺し
most
てやろう
miserable
と
death
思って閉じ込めておい
as
た
a
けど
fool. But locking
まだ
her up
思い
because
つ
I
かない
hadn't
って
thought of a
言
good
ったは
way.
ず
Yeah. Oh god, so she actually says this. I didn't actually realise that.
あれが
That
嘘
was a lie. I smiled menacingly as I laid out the huge nails and hammer specifically made for the nail table. God.
あの子に
I'll kill her back.
自分のせいで死ぬ大勢の人の悲鳴をたっぷりと聞かせて体の芯まで染み通らせてから殺すの
Oh my god.
なかなかセン
Wouldn't
ス
that
いい
be
でしょ
poetic? Poetic. Bro, somebody needs a better sense of humour. Holy fucking shit. God. It was always interesting when I played this firstly because I thought this was Oyasura-sama sort of tactic, you know? Get everybody... Because we all did, I thought that was one of the things we were sort of made to believe, like, get the victims that are the most vulnerable, get everybody around them dead and then kill them yourselves, really. Just painful. So horrible. Who are you? Oh. Yeah.
は
Huh?
ミオンでしょ
Mion.
園崎ミオン
Sonozaki Mion.
恐怖で
Did
頭
the
が
fear
変
drive
に
you
な
out
っ
of
ちゃ
your
った
mind? Oh god. No, you're not. Yeah. No, there's no way you can be Sonozaki Mion.
園崎ミオンであるはずがない
Wow. That's the saddest thing, Casey. That's really is the saddest thing. I mean, I know there's Shion and everything, but like, God. No, I mean, I suppose that it could be said that she is not Sonozaki Mion, but like the only thing is, she is herself. It's not somebody else. It's just sad that this is genuinely herself. It's not just like some sort of complete split from herself. It's not two people or something like that. I don't know. My hand stopped dead in its tracks. Get off. Shit, I decided it would be too late once we reach Shion's cell. So the name guessing game is already over. Oh well, whatever. Bring it on. I'll listen to you. This is your last chance.
じ
Oh yeah?
ゃ
Then if I'm not Mion,
あ
who
私が
am
ミ
I?
オンじゃなかったら
Oh.
私は誰なわけ
Gosh, it's really interesting. I mean, I do wonder that he's only saying... I wonder if he could actually be saying at the moment... No, he's sounding genuine. He can't be using this just as a way to sort of buy time. But, yeah. And if I'm not Mion, who am I? Come on, Gizon. Guess who I am. I'm trying to say Mion, the girl who fell in love with you. So, I wonder what's going to happen if Gizon actually guesses Sion's name. I mean, I wonder if, like, he's gonna have Mion saved. I just don't really get why she'd save her, though. I mean, she is a demon after all, as she so professionally puts it. And then I heard it I most definitely heard it. Casey's mouth trembled as he spoke the words, yet his eyes shone with a strong conviction, and he spoke the truth.
Shion.
You're
Da na.
What? You're Shion, aren't you? How did he know? Wow. You're right, you're actually one. You're amazing, Gizon. Strange feeling fills my chest as I shiver. I convicted myself that there was no really way he could guess. I mean, I just can't believe that. I mean, I suppose it could potentially be because of the whole maybe Shion could have been acting differently to Mion, just in subtle ways. But like, God, I just can't believe it. But he did, and I almost couldn't help feeling a bit surprised. Sketchy had yet again pierced through my disguise. You are Mion, given by the Mion who I was with until just now. Oh no. Who? I? Huh? You are Mion, right?
だから私
Like I said, I'm
ミオ
Mion. No, that's not it. That wasn't what I meant. You aren't Mion.
どうして私が
Why do you think I'm not the
お
older
姉じゃないっ
sister?
て思うんですか？
Oh. That's actually really interesting. So, this is what was thought before by Keiichi. I don't know, just a feeling. Oh. In my mind, memories of the time Keiichi recognised me at the toy store had been revived. Yes, even back then, Keiichi could tell that I wasn't my sister Shion. My god. Wow, how? I had fine composure enough to come back with a straight face, but on the inside, I was shook. Yeah. We were both capable of becoming Mion or Shion, but because I was the real Mion, I was only Shion legally on paper, reversing the roles was even more easier for me. Yeah, I suppose. Well, Ro, I don't know. I have a feeling that we could be good, but it wouldn't be likely if we weren't. Our tones of speech, quirks, and even our auras, we both mastered each other's habits so perfectly, even our own parents were not able to tear us apart. God. Wow, that must be a nightmare, not even having parents that could tear you apart. Holy shit. In fact, we weren't... Wasn't that acceptably so? Then I'm not able to figure out that I wasn't her best friend Mion after all, despite being so close? Yeah, and Casey could. Even though, like... You would have thought that wouldn't have been his personality type at all. So why? Has this Keiichi actually seen through my disguise twice? Why do you think I'm not the older sister? Ah, it's very interesting, sort of like, you know, the same words that were said in the first time. Why do you think I'm not the older sister? And it's also very interesting in Watanagasi we never saw this. But I'm going to be real, I think the second we found out this was Shion, the entire plot would have been spoiled here, so I'm actually really happy that they didn't. Why do you think I'm not the older sister? My ears perked up, eager to hear the answer. Keiichi's reply was a soft murmur like an insect's whisper as he gasped for breath in pain. Oh, his voice was so quiet it was nearly inaudible, but I could almost recognise the word on his lips. Yes, just a feeling, he says. Wow. God. It's just really interesting that she's thinking this in her mind. Yet again, it was just a feeling. Didn't he say the exact same to me that time at the toy store? Yeah. Oh, how nice, how nice. What a splendid answer. God, you think why my sister of all people fell in love with him? However, no, rather it was exactly because of this. Along with my raving madness, the blood that was simmering in my veins until just now rapidly began to turn chill and coagulate. If I had to describe it, it just felt like a stagnant, muddy water flowing through a gutter. God. That is such a genius metaphor. I mean, that really does sort of explain what Shion thinks of herself. God. I mean, it's just really interesting that, like, Shion can actually tell. No, Keiichi can actually tell that this is Shion. I mean, that so surprises me. Even now, it was also hilarious. I could fall over laughing, but I didn't smile. On the contrary, my face was vacant and awestruck, like a gnome mask of frigid ice. God. I just can't believe that you could... I just can't believe that, like, she's realising some of the biggest things that she's realising ever. And yet she still thinks it's all hilarious. And it's some of the worst things as well, because if she gets in prison, then... Yeah. She can't really fake as a Mion anymore. And then the darkness seeped into the innermost depths of my mind, and I was already parting with my self-restraint as a human being. Oh, God. Yeah. Every time I touched Keiichi's hair, Keiichi's hair matted with sweat and caked with blood. Keiichi whipped his head away at once in disgust. As he was staving off a housefly and glares at me defiantly. Yeah. Don't touch me. Yeah, good. Who the fuck would want to get touched by, like, fucking her? But don't you damn demon. Give her back. Give Mion back. Give my best friend back, Mion. That's actually very interesting that she says that. That he says that. I mean, so the thing about Shion, it really was just a feeling. It wasn't genuine. God. And it is very interesting, like this. You know, the Keiichi was protecting Satoko in Tatari Higurashi. This is exactly the type of stuff that Satoko was saying to Keiichi. And this is now what Keiichi's saying to Shion. It's interesting though. I don't know if that was intentional, but like, God. Yeah. That's the thing. She's never going to come back. No way. Having lost liberty over his whole body, he continued to howl and cry as if he was spewing blood. I was supposed to have sold my soul to the devil and become a demon, but faced with such a bitter rejection, I felt the crumbled remnants of my emotions stir within me. Oh God, I so hope that like this could maybe be a potential sort of good step into the future, maybe, but I don't know. At the same time, he's at a restraining table, so yeah, it's probably not going to be anything hopeful. Oh God, munch, crunch, munch, crunch, munch, crunch. My throat begins to itch. Oh. The crooks of my elbows, my wrists, and every other joint of my body began to tingle and prickle. I feel irrationally restless. God, that's really weird. That is really, really weird. The more the restlessness and irritation piled up, the more this squalling, whimpering person beside me felt bothersome, revolting, so awful I could slaughter. Oh no. So I could slaughter him right away. To be frank, until just now I had no intention of killing Keiichi? What? I'm so surprised. I always thought that like she was genuinely thinking it. But I don't know. Interesting. I was truly ready to spare at least his life. Oh, if he gets the right answer. Well, what if he didn't? That was the rule I decided upon. Oh, okay, I'll admit it. Just like Shion, I had also fallen in love with Keiichi. God, of course you have. Of course she has. He was incredibly silly and good-natured, unbelievably warm-hearted and gentle. Talking to him made me feel contented. Besides, I even sympathised with him. Unlike the lot I dealt with so far, Keiichi was indeed just a victim, caught up with my selfish revenge drama. Yeah, now my revenge against the Sonosaki family was almost complete. I didn't mind saving him. Oh, but yeah, we all know what happens. So what makes her change her mind? That may sound too convenient, but perhaps the human side of me that was fond of Keiichi wanting to save him in order to seek his forgiveness for my actions. It's very interesting that like me is in quotations. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, I suppose. But I've changed my. Oh, yep. There we are. It's just really interesting that like these emotions, they're just always turning into bad things, and like everything that could have potentially been a signer for good change is just awful. It goes to awful intentions. It's just very interesting about this whole, like, restless feelings as well, because, like, that's never happened before. And throat beginning to itch as well. It's just interesting that it started off by that. I mean, what if there's more a meaning to that? But I've changed my mind. And when Meikashi gets the right answer before my very eyes, my heart was suffused with a stinging, gaping, overpowering darkness as if it were freezing over. God. Why? Why was he alone, able to meet such a wonderful person? And no. Why was she? Satosuki could only make a vague decision between Shion and Shion. Satosuki abandoned me and ran away. Oh my god, you can't think that. You don't even know. But, yeah, I suppose. No, wait, actually she can, because Satoshi was going on a train to Tokyo, but, like, the thing is, she really just forgets that not all of it is about her. I mean, look at Satoshi's life, look how awful it was. However, this Keiji trusts Shion. He's defending Shion, who he values as his best friend, by seeing through my lies. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is about the whole Keiji thing as well, like, I think it's just so insane that, like, the person Shion was killing for is now sort of all of the reasons, all of the revenge, all of everything, really. It's just gone. And I mean, it's just really funny that, like, now the motive for murder in the first place was gone. And it's just really funny, like, how pointless the murders have really just became. And all of the bullying and all the bad emotions and all of the things he inflicted onto other people, you know. And as a result, he gave up on me. Detestable, maddening, despicable, enviable. So much that I wanted to kill him. Oh god. Yep. You really just see all human, all emotions just gone for hate. That's right, the moment he defended Shion, he became one of them. He's equally guilty. You low-life scum, I despise you, I despise you, I despise you, I despise you. I despise you, fucking piece of shit. Please stop. Oh, God. God, you really just see, and I think this coming in so close to, like, the whole thing about, like, Casey and Mion, it's just because I really do think it's, like, genuine jealousy, and I think it's just because, I mean, I suppose because Shion did so much to sort of get the love back, really, she actually realised, like, how jealous she is, I suppose, I don't know. Oh, God, that's probably why, but, God. It's just really interesting, like, all emotions are just gone, all rational thoughts, all everything. I mean, God, he's equally guilty. He's equally guilty as the same people who literally used propaganda to get people to encourage to kill an entire family. Ah, yes. Makes sense. God, it is taxing reading this. Yes, my Fanta's still fizzy, let's fucking go. I'm not drinking Fanta. While watching Mion getting emotionally fucking wrecked by this, just, I don't even know, just a really bad word for Shion. I can't really think of one, just like one that's awful. Please stop, don't kill him. It's just sad. I mean, the thing is about this, especially because of this change of emotion, she's not going to listen to her. Get out of here. Oh, what a nuisance. Shion's screams coming from the corner of the chamber were enjoyable before, but now they felt unbearably noisy and pissed me off. God. It's just really interesting with this. No empathy, no nothing. No possible emotion that anybody normal would feel. And it doesn't really surprise me at this point, but, like, God. How awful. How about I just get rid of Shion first? Oh, God. Well, I mean, I wanted to get her after she had the most exquisite taste of anguish and terror. Oh, my God. But now I can barely suppress the indiscriminate urge to slaughter while welling up within me. God, this is just so horrible. I mean, every time you think it couldn't have been worse, it just gets worse. I think it's very interesting with the whole things that she normally sort of enjoys as like a complete fucking psychopath, like sadistic as well. Even the things that she enjoys are just getting unfun to her. And I think that just really is interesting because that sort of tells you that, I don't know, it sort of tells that like there's no, I mean, at least with when she was, I mean, I suppose, oh, I really don't know, but like the thing is, the things that made her happy before are sort of disappearing. So if there's no happiness, then is her only emotion going to be murder? But at the same time, that happiness is basically just as bad as murder. But I don't know. It's just interesting, that. Oh God, Katie was relentlessly yelling his protest towards me. His throat closed up eventually, and he gasped for breath, hoarsely continuing to demand Mion's return. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, he needs to make the most of it. I mean, he's never going to have this opportunity again. He needs to bargain for his life. Good for him. A fucking shame on Shion. Can't lie. Kei-chan, this may not be something pleasant to take to the grave with you. Oh, God, but you really seem to want to know, so I'll tell you just one thing. Oh, I wonder what she's going to say. Demon has already been... Oh, Demon had already just been dwelling inside me for a long time. It had been gnawing my heart, trying to spur me to violence, but I suppressed it with reasoning. Yep. The demon calmed down and I convinced myself that it disappeared. As it turns out, I was wrong. The demon never left me. It had just been asleep inside me. Yeah, and I suppose with like the whole... Just, I don't know, the whole... Like I said, or some related stuff. The whole murder and Satoshi as well. Really sort of made it woke up, if you like. Yes, when I learned about Satoshi's disappearance, my ailing heart had crammed itself with rage to compensate from the despair. Yeah, and I remember that. I really do remember that. And that is when shit fell apart, really. But there was a limit on my insanity. I would have never snapped. Yeah, that was a limit there. But now it's just off the roof. Time had healed me, and my memories of Satoshi were neatly wrapped up and pushed into the back of my mind. Yeah. I wonder what actually re-triggered them. Oh no. I think it was Katie, wasn't it? Because of the whole motorbike thing, just him being reminiscent of Satoshi, I don't know. That demon had awoken again thanks to a certain small opportunity. What do you think that opportunity was? Oh, it really was the smallest of things. This might be strange to hear from a demon, but you're the reason everything got so messed up. Oh God, a tear rolled down my cheek. That's right. Back then, if you hadn't given that doll to Mion, none of this would have happened. Oh. You probably can't understand. I don't expect you to. But you see, after that, everything began to topple one by one, like clattering dominoes, and it all got out of hand. I just can't believe that, like, she's even like fucking crying, and yet she can still lie. Because this is Mion. This is not what happened to Shion. Because if you remember when Mion was with Shion, Mion was really upset about this whole thing. So she uses what she knows that Mion had got upset, well, had made her upset to just do this. And my god, it's so horrible. I mean, she's a demon in her head. I mean, what the fuck does it matter to her? I'm just kind of surprised that she can lie. It's normally you don't realise it because it was so small, but as the person to knock over the very first one, you were the cause of this tragedy. Oh, God. Yeah, so you're going to kill somebody, you're going to ruin their life, you're going to ruin their entire circle of friends in the most brutal way, but, oh, before that, let's just make you feel bad for, make you feel unmatchable guilt, basically. Horrible. Back then, if Katie hadn't shown any affection, Shion wouldn't have been overjoyed. Yeah, she wouldn't have been overjoyed and cheerfully boasted about him to me. Hang on, I'm kind of confused. Yeah, definitely. As I was listening to her, I was reminded of Sato's skin. Yeah. I became jealous of her for having somebody she loved so close to her. It was a very small jealousy, but it had awakened the demon who was sleeping deep inside of me. After that, I just let the demon take over. Then fed upon the copious amount of sadness I offered Sato's skin, and in return it committed heinous acts that Sato's skin himself would never be happy with, all in the name of avenging him. Yeah, I mean, God, it's just really interesting, this whole jealousy thing. Because it partly isn't about the doll, but it partly is, because at the same time when Mion was actually sort of talking about the doll thing and talking about how cool Katie was, it was sort of just jealous. Jealousy that happened to Shion, really. God. And now the horrific events that have followed were inviting me to the realm of demons that had no return. Yeah. She does have no return, no way. She can either make it worse, or she can just go to prison for her entire life, or she can just die. That also works. Which is probably what she's going to do, let's be real. That can't be, can it? I'm not surprised that you weren't aware. Even so you are without the doubt. Even so you are without the doubt. The cause of this, Kei-chan. I suppose you could blame it on Katie, but like the thing is, that's just fucking evil. It's your fault. It's your fucking jealousy, mate. Oh God. Back then, if you hadn't just given the doll to Mion, we could have arrived at a different future. Yeah. No, that wasn't right. Wouldn't pinpointing Katie's small action as the beginning be the height of transferring blame? Yes. Exactly. I was implying such a silly thing had awoken the demon inside me. Yeah, even without Katie's act, it would have awakened anyway. Yeah, but I think the whole thing about like Katie, and especially because of the whole jealousy and stuff like that, it really is just something that I don't know, it's just really something that would have been provoked thanks to it. But it's actually very interesting. So she acts as if you hadn't chosen to give the doll to Mion, we could have been arriving at a different time. Maybe, I suppose maybe that could be, I don't know, because I mean obviously maybe she was pretending to be Mion at that time, and maybe she was the one. No, she wasn't, because Mion was actually the one like really upset at Shion. So I'm really confused about this. Wait, so maybe it's because like the whole insane thoughts that she's having, maybe she just thinks that like she has all of Mion's thoughts. I really don't know. But yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, it was all my fault. Yeah. I just can't believe she actually finds this true. I didn't find the demon. I allowed it to reside in my soul, and I readily offered it my heart. Yeah, and all the feelings on Sato's skin and all the emotions. In case he didn't hide his tears, they were pouring down his cheeks. Maybe he was crying in my place. I was not free to do so, having chosen to become a tearless demon. Yeah. Because he doesn't even cry anymore. This was why I must go on as a demon. Oh god, I just hate this. I mean, she realises so much. I mean, she actually realises what she's doing is how wrong she is and how awful everything she's doing is, and yet she still goes on. She still continues to make the mistakes, and she doesn't even realise that they're wrong. Oh god, that's why I must go on as a demon. There was no room for human emotions or hesitation anymore. That is just sad. There is always room for that. You are not a demon, you're a fucking human, mate. Shion went science. There's no room for human emotions or hesitation anymore. And then much was snap. No. Oh god. Oh no, did he get it? Well, I'm assuming from me on scream. Hold up, I'll just see. Yeah, I kind of wanted to mute that because, like, you know, just I don't want you guys to sort of see that as much, but like, yep, just from that, I think, yeah, shit has happened. Sion's wells rather than like silk tearing apart along with my screams as ecstasy. Fucking horrible. It's just the worst sort of contrast, really. The last thing I heard were those everlasting reverberations. Oh god. Oh, so that's it. The last thing she ever heard. Interesting, that. Is that the end of the chapter? June 1983. What happens here? Okay, serial disappearances. Going to Namazar village, Shizumane city. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop at the moment because I've read enough for tonight. I mean, I have a feeling I've definitely enjoyed what I've read. It's just like the thing is I have a feeling I'm gonna be too tired to read anymore. I'd rather sort of, you know, like delay it out, you know, get as much enjoyment as I possibly can have really from this. It's just so awful. I mean, I'm gonna be real at this point. I've never thought I'd get to a point where the plot has become so consistently sick that I'm actually just used to seeing stuff this horrible. I mean, my god, like, fucking hell, I think it's just so sad about the whole Shion thing, the whole Katie thing as well. The thing, especially about the whole love thing to begin with, the whole futility of this, and how what she thought was a good thing, what she thought was the whole avenge was actually just like, you know, opposite. My god, dude. This plot is just so fucked up. I've never... This is easily the most fucked up one that I've read. Easily. I mean, my god. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens tomorrow, though. Because, yeah... I'm going to be very interested to see the aftermath of, like, when the police come in as well. Because, yeah, if you remember in Higurashi, that's what happens. Oh my god, dude. That is so... I think it's just so sad, all of this. I mean, god. It was very interesting seeing the whole interrogation thing, everything really, and just the emotions as well. everything really. So yeah, I suppose tomorrow we're actually going to find out like what happens. Probably the last really interesting thing in this book. And yeah, I suppose I'm going to go to bed now. See, hopefully tomorrow's going to be really fun. I don't know if it will be. It's probably going to be really dark knowing this game, but yeah, hopefully it'll be cool. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream now, and yeah, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I don't know.